Probably should have waited until I had the phone and the tripod before I started recording here. It's not for you. Oh, you guys want some beer? Wait. There's Leo. Alright, so tonight's beer is Sauron's Nightlight by Brick Feather Brewery. 7.3 ABV. They're just calling it a robust porter. Proudly brewed and canned at our facility in Turners Falls, Massachusetts. Keep this beer cold and drink fresh. Packaged on June 2nd. So it's only, what, 2 months old? So this is another beer that came out of the glass, or came out of the can into the glass, like super dark, and also like the beer from last night, the head just fizzled away pretty quick like a soda. I think I got a picture of it before it faded though, so let's get a whiff. Oh yeah, really fruity on this one. I remember I bought this because whenever they have like a beer on Tavour that's not a sour or a New England IPA or a pastry stout, like it's just a standard 2 specs, you know, classic style, I almost always buy it if the price is right. And I love, you know, just solid like 2 spec porters and stouts. Now they're calling this a robust porter, which BJCP doesn't have that as a style anymore. That's either American porter or British porter, and so I won't really be able to tell until we get into it, but this is very fruity. Very fruity. Dark fruit, fig, cherry, plum, raisin. Maybe like a little bit of a milk chocolate to it. I would not call it roasty. It is there's no coffee here. I don't smell alcohol, which is nice. As far as hops, they're hard to pick out. Well, they could kind of count for like a minty or earthy, maybe kind of a general floral character. Yeah. So I think this would be more in like the British style than American style because it's so malty and not so much hoppy. But let's dive in here. Cheers. I gotta sit back a little on that one. What? You want some? I want some. Say hi. Oh, you can't see him. Well, what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted is just a few sips into this, and I'm saying this is more closer to spec for English porter, not American porter, because of the flavor profile here. Very, like I said, like on the aroma, same on the palate is very fruity, kind of like the red and dark fruits, plum, cherry, fig, raisin. With a chocolatey background. I am not really getting. I mean, so there is a little bit of like a roastiness in it, but it's not like a big, huge, like coffee flavored, like a huge like roast flavor or bitterness on it. That kind of mostly just kind of shows up at the end, and is more in the background. It's actually quite sweet. Well, it's more sweet than dry, I will say. It's not like sickly or cloying sweet like that beer from the other night. I was going to say that this kind of reminds me of Fuller's London Porter. Although something that I'm noticing on this one is the mouthfeel is a little thin. You can see that kind of soda kind of head on it. Yeah, I put the mouthfeel at like medium tops. Like maybe even, I might even go as far as say medium light on the body. Carbonation is medium light to medium. It has kind of an aftertaste of coffee, but also of like date syrup. Have you ever had a lot of Belgian beers? They use date syrup or candy syrup, as they call it. It's just like a concentrate of just dark fruit into a syrupy form. It has that kind of flavor, like maybe like a little bit of like a chocolatey taste to it, or molasses. I can't pick out those hops now that I'm like really thinking about it. So there's enough bitterness there for balance. I still would say that it's more sweet than dry, but it's not sickly sweet. And yeah, like that aftertaste, there's like a little bit of like an aftertaste of like a roasty kind of flavor. It was just weird because like I'm not really tasting roast while the beer is in my mouth. It's like once I swallow and it goes away, lingering on the tongue is this kind of like slightly roasty coffee kind of taste. But those fruity flavors in there are nice. This beer would be just so much better if it just had like more body to it, though. It feels like it's like I don't know what happened with it. It just I'm drinking this and it just feels a little thin. You know, it is only 7.3 ABV. So I mean, it is not a, you know, huge beastly, you know, 10% imperial stout or something like that. 7.3 actually by today's standards is like practically a session beer. Well, I'm being hyperbolic, obviously. But yeah, this is a nice standard like robust porter. Kind of like I said, reminds me of Fuller's London Porter or Smutty Nose. They have beer. It was just called Robust Porter. Kind of reminds me of that. Um, yeah, nice solid beer. It'd be interesting if like they had a yeast like a little bit more characterful. Like it, I would assume this is some kind of American strain. I'm not getting like a buttery diacetyl that you would tend to get from like Ringwood, or you know some kind of really um, old school British style yeast strain. And no, this would not be a good beer to do a Brett secondary on. Not at all. Yeah, nice beer. This would be a great beer to have with some cheese. In fact, I have some 𝗕𝗘𝓷𝓷 in the fridge, so I'm gonna go grab that. But before we do, I'm gonna wrap up this review. As far as rating, yeah, I'm liking this beer. I don't think I've had anything from this brewery before, so this is a good one to start out with. It is not a perfect brew. I think it just needs like a little bit more body to it. It needs like a little bit more. Just needs like a little bit more character or something. It's hard to like critique it from like a brewer's perspective, but as far as rating, I think I'm gonna go. I probably go like 3.75, maybe 4. So somewhere, maybe even 3.5, somewhere between. Yeah, maybe I'll just do 3.75. It's tasty, flavorful. It's a little sweet, and the mouth feels a little thin on it, but otherwise pretty fun. Nice dessert beer. Nice nightcap beer too. All right, so if you want to get on with Tavour like and be a cool kid like me, link in the description below. Get $10 off your first purchase, and it lets them know that I sent you. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. All right, bye.